Alright, and welcome. We're here for the 1v1 mid to decide ban pick and side selection. So it gets determined by a pre-match solo mid contest instead of a traditional coin toss. Fans vote prior to this. Voting starts a day before and 65 minutes before the game starts. And they pick the hero and they pick the player. And it's get 2 kills or destroy 1 tower. Ooh. Which should be pretty interesting.
Prepare for battle.
I've never seen anything like this before. And this is my first day on Chinese Development Association, or Chinese Dota Association. I don't know why I keep calling it development, because there's CPL and CDL, or CDL. So if the game doesn't end in 10 minutes, the winner will be determined by more kills, higher net worth, more last hits, more denies, and call it even, and then toss a coin. So I've never cast a 1v1 mid. For me, I've never done that. It's kind of exciting. Like, this is something new. But it's X-Nova against Kaka, which I find hilarious. X-Nova the 5 for LGD, and then Kaka the 4 for IG. I'm surprised that they were in, like, let's get emo against Somnus on this. But that's, like, just my opinion. So let's see how this goes.
The battle begins.
I'm not exactly sure the formalities to a 1v1 mid. But X-Nova, Kaka, creeps come in. Here we go. All right. So it's first to 2 kills or a tower. See how X-Nova goes about this, because this is not... I would say this is probably less of an opportunity here for X-Nova. And I say that just because Lina used to be popular in the 4 spot. I don't think, and I don't know X-Nova's personal pub profile. So I don't know about his, the way he does this. If he plays Shadow Fiend during his pub matches. But I should probably have the CS up for you guys. 4-0 to the 3-0. And a pause. Even now. In the middle of these games.
Don't burn your fingers.
Nova sitting a little bit low here. Now has the raises as well as the Necro Mastery. Definitely potential to blow someone up. But now he doesn't have any mana regen to work with, so that doesn't exactly get that easy. But finally gets a Mango shipped over his way as well as having a Salve. In terms of CS right now, Kaka leading the way. 7-1 to the 6-1. Only 1 behind for the moment, but it doesn't get easier when these denies come through and the easy last hits are there for Kaka. So under the tower, 0-4-3. That is not the greatest feeling. So Raze comes in, hits on the Kaka. 2 minutes into the 10 minutes, we've got ourselves a 1 CS advantage for Kaka. But he's got that deny. And the rules of this state, more kills, higher net worth, more last hits, more denies. So, I guess, net worth would be the second thing. It's very close, that's for sure. But now Lina taking a 3 CS lead. Ooh, not getting that deny. Now stopped by the Dragon Slave. Kaka sitting level 3. 1/1/1 build for him. The 2/1 here for X Nova. And Raze comes in. Doesn't have the mana for a short Raze. And oh man! Woo! X Nova almost biting the dust there. Continues to get salves shipped out to himself. Again, I'm not really certain the strategy to a 1v1 mid. I've never cast a 1v1 mid before. I feel like this would be a good time to have someone to say, well, this is how it goes. So, Kaka, sitting at about half health. He's got 2 salves and a bunch of mangoes. And just devours all of those mangoes. So in terms of net worth, I mean, it is still sitting pretty close. It's really not a net worth battle considering they're both just shipping out. Whoa! Dragon Slave hits, and I guess it's just 1 kill? It says 2 kills on the site, but I guess he just calls GG. Okay. All right. I'm thoroughly confused here, and I've never seen the post-game screen for a 1v1 either. This is pretty cool. Especially considering Kaka's got the picture here as well as X Nova. Take a look at the scoreboard. Yeah, I mean, it's 1-0 for Kaka, winning it there for the side of IG. So I guess now we'll be back with the game soon. Put you guys on a bit of a break. And we'll be back in just a moment. So stay right there. Appreciate you guys taking the moment to stick with us. We'll be back with the game. I'm your caster Bkop, and guess we're going to a break. Sorry, I don't exactly know the roll down on the schedule. See you guys in a little bit. Any thoughts on what they're going to go with here? Or you think it's going to be, you know, more leaning towards a core for them, or if they're going to go to another support? I know Ogre's been pretty popular.
You mean Shadow Demon or?
Well, with the Shadow
LGD.
Demon, yeah, for LGD, because they've got the Shadow Demon as well as the Mars, and they've got the 3 and the 5. So like,
I'm not really sure because I feel the game changed a lot, and whatever I understood before, it's not reliable anymore. I feel like the game is not the same. The way the heroes are being picked. I mean, we saw a lot of Ogre. I noticed the Ogre a lot. I think last week. I think it started since started a little bit. There were a couple of teams that started to pick them, but right now even more because, like I said, heroes that has a lot of HP regen is very valuable right now. Ogre is like very high regen, but the downside of having that hero is he's like a liability later on. He's not very useful later into the game apart from Bloodlust. And certain teams they tend to favor a support like Oracle or something like a Phoenix, where you have decent laning phase and you'll be able to contribute a lot in the team fight. Like a hero that's very strong in team fight. I think EG picked Kotal yesterday. I saw some of their game. They went back to a position 5 Kotal, which I feel is a hero that fits the way the game is being. You kind of want a position 5 hero that has a wave clear and has some sort of useful spell that can change the team fight.
Yeah, we saw the Ogre a lot last night, and I really agree with the fact that you said that it falls off and it becomes a liability. Like early, it just feels like it could be a harassment machine, and like you have 7 armor, and you just keep running at enemy.
Because I hate playing that hero, but I understand certain people think that because of the change to Orb of Banner, it's actually stronger on specific heroes because they made it the slow duration is cut short to 2 seconds, but the slow is more. So it's particularly effective on a hero like Ogre that has you already have a slow on top of you, so you can cash out, and then you can the 3 second to 2 second reduction doesn't affect you too much, but the slow increase actually helps you. So they go for the monkey. I guess the monkey. I noticed LGD they tend to put they had a safe lane yesterday, so maybe the Storm could be a safe lane and then or actually, wait, maybe not. Because I'm thinking the monkey is probably gonna want to lane against the DK, but then I realized they have a DP as well. So I'm not sure how the lane setup is gonna be. But I guess if you're the monkey king, you really want to go lane against the dragon.
Yeah, the DK is probably going to be in the safe lane. I know LGD played that yesterday. They actually played it in both positions. They played it 3 times throughout the best of 5, where it was on Chalice 1 time, Somnus over twice. And
the DK is on IG this time.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, in this position, it will be that DK in the 1, in my opinion, just because we've seen it from LGD yesterday. Was where we saw it in the 1 position. It really did work out. I thought Chalice played a really good game with that DK, but it was a bit of surprise when I saw it then, just because I feel like DK has just been this strictly mid-hero for so long that I was shocked to see it anywhere else.
I mean, there was a time where he was picking the off lane a little bit, but the carry was like, I think some teams think it's fine to go safe lane DK if you want to avoid. And back then, DK carry, because of I think it was the talents, something was very strong about the hero before. I think he had, was it like 40 or 50 damage talent? I remember the talent was really strong, that's why he could be played as a carry back then.
So now back into that carry role.
But right now, LGD's lineup is, I think they're proud to deal with the Oracle DP.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition usually a first phase ban too, but at least for IG they spent their bans on the Centaur as well as the Phoenix. Got rid of.
That's why I said whatever we understood before is actually not so relevant anymore, because the game changed a lot because of the few changes they made to the draft sequence and obviously the whole game itself. So a lot of things are very weird right now. I'm also trying to understand what's happening.
It seems like the drafts have just been much of a change going on, and now IG go to the Sword Art. One of the things too is IG. I'm wondering if Negative is if Negative's emo, because I wasn't paying attention in the lobby to see if it was him or not.
Oh,
but
did they have a? So you're saying they have a stand-in?
Yeah, I'm not certain if Negative is their 1 position normally, or their mid position normally, because emo's usually their mid. So. I mean, Negative's playing the DK. They go to Fly on the Death Prophet. The different than I thought they would do, too. I thought the DK would be in the 1 and Death Prophet would be mid for sure, but a bit of a change here with...
So they probably have a stand-in based on that.
Let me check, see if it says it on Dota Buff. A little bit interesting, too, because he was playing with the team yesterday. I would be surprised to see if that was a change to come in today.
But I think overall I like LGD's chances here. I like their lineup ticks a lot of boxes. They have team fight, pretty good laning. They have catch from the Storm, catch from the Mars. I mean, I think overall they have a pretty balanced lineup.
Is this, and you were right, it ended up being a mid Monkey King and a safe lane Storm Spirit that you mentioned in the draft. Do you think this is a game for Storm where he has free reign? Like, there's a lot here that could potentially lock him down, and I feel like might make him struggle a little bit. But is what IG brings to the table enough to maybe mitigate that mobility that Storm brings to the table?
I think he's really good against Oracle, Lina, these kind of supports that don't really have a direct catch on you. And very weak and usually want to stand behind. He's really good against. But if you look at the costs, they have DK is really good against Storm. Like, everyone likes to play DK against Storm because you have the. But I think apart from that, I think Storm is actually a really good hero to have a huge impact this game. He's only going to be worried about. I don't think they can reliably lock the Storm down. So I guess you can say that he's kind of the win condition as a Storm.
So we'll see what Chalice can do on that Storm Spirit, and he'll be up against what looks to be, at least right now, the Lina as well as the Sardar. But you think which support's moving over towards top? Is it going to be Ali who moves over towards top to help out? Because it looks, at least right now, that they're going to try and get themselves a first blood. Throw like a Fortune's End, LSA, line that up with something if they can get somebody caught out early on in this laning phase. But at least
I'm thinking
somebody will move.
Whether they want to aggro try because they probably already know Storm. Storm is like so shit on the side lane, especially against the tri lane. Maybe they are considering punishing him because DP doesn't really need much help at all against the mass. So what they could do is maybe try to get 1 or 2 kills to slow the Storm down a lot at the early game, and then go back top with the probably the Oracle will go back top later. To do here, but that could be a pretty decent plan because they have a lot of kill potential. You know, Star, Lina, Oracle, they are all very strong heroes.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it could be a disruptive tri lane, one that can, like you said, play pretty aggressive and
and
get a couple of kills.
And you think about LGD, right? If your Storm got tri lane and even down, I don't think it will help too much because your lane is so bad. Shadow Demon, A, and Storm. Even though it's 3 range heroes, but you don't really do much together. So I think even if that happens, the Shadow Demon probably would be happy playing top and then like he's gonna play mid and top because middle is a Monkey King and DK is a favorable matchup. So it means that any small rotation made by the support can often result in a kill.
Do you think that they'll force the Storm to go and swap lanes, or is that even in the thought process here for LGD that maybe the Storm needs to go away from this tri lane?
But where can he go? I don't know. Maybe mid, but then the Monkey King doesn't want to be in a. I think he's good. Even if he goes top, right? Say he. All RG needs to do is bring all their supports top, you know. Then your Storm is like on the off. I've seen it done before. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, back then when mid one played a Storm on the side lane, aggressive tri lane. Because I think that they think that Storm is a pretty good dual lane or tri lane hero because of the changes made. I mean, this is a while back, the electric ball. It doesn't slow you anymore, and then you have very high base armor as a hero. So you are deceptively tanky.
So they end up actually sending Ali towards top, so it will be a 2-1-2 for IG. I'm surprised they didn't even wait for the chance at a first blood. Usually you'll see 3 heroes linger over towards bottom, and then they'll try to, for that first attempt, to at least maybe go for it or force a lot of harassment out.
And usually it's in this kind of where it's easy to kill Lina, Slada, or people would tend to like to at least try it. Since you don't really lose much, you can just stay there and TP to the lane like 10 seconds later. And if you get a kill, it's great for your hero. But sometimes, because if you're doing that, you're gonna force the. If you're the starter, you probably have to learn you take your stun, right? Crush for the laning. So sometimes it's actually the player itself rather say that I don't want to try to go for a kill. I just want to play the lane. So just go back to your lane. I mean, it's the kind of same thing. I think the most common one people talk about is the Rubik, where if you take Leaf to get first blood, it's actually not worth it at all. Because then you're useless in the lane. So yeah, similar concept.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Rubiks go Fadebolt level 1 or even Fadebolt into the
no matter what, they just click the Fadebolt. If you want the kill, I'll try with Fadebolt. I don't care, I don't want the Leaf, It doesn't matter, it's like the discipline, Then they understand that if at level 1, they are practically a creep in the lane.
Yeah, I get because I play a lot of Rubik. I get so much flack for taking Fadebolt level 1, and I'm just like, I don't really feel like telekinesis is gonna help me here, and it's it might be the MMR bracket where people don't really understand the fact that I feel like telekinesis level 1 just makes me pretty useless, except for potentially getting first blood, but I don't know. It always,
the first blood is like not even remotely worth it for that.
Yeah.
It actually changes the laning. Like right now, the laning phase is so it was important before, but it's even way more important right now because of the removal of the and regen being discovered. laning is like so important right now. So easy to snowball from the lane. That's why you've been seeing, and for me, I've been seeing a lot of like this kind of pain, shadow fiend hero come back because these are the heroes that can dominate the lane and snowball. All these heroes are very good in this kind of meta.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of...
But like I said, in this game, I kind of feel better about LGD's lineup. I think it's their lineup takes more box in the draft section. Whereas if you compare their draft to IG's lineup, kind of lacks. It's like their team fight is not as strong. Apart from they just have the DP ulti, right? But they don't really have like some mass AoE lockdown. Whereas if you look at the Radiant lineup, they have the Mars ultimate and the Monkey King ultimate and the stun. All these two heroes have a lot of like disable in the team fight, and all the other heroes have like small stun, disrupt, and they have a save as well. And Storm is going to be able to have a very good game because he can kill the Oracle every time.
Do you think it would have been better to maybe have the DK be in the safe lane position or be in that one spot instead of the Death Prophet? Because if their team fight's heavily reliant on the exorcism and like you were saying that's kind of all they have, would you rather more priority for DK and being in that one spot and taking that safe lane?
Not sure though. I mean, I'm not very sure. Maybe they feel like if DK goes to the safe lane against the Mars will have too good of a game because you can't really bully it up. It's like a melee against melee match. You're not going to do much. Whereas the DP can bully the Mars in the lane with the speed. I'm not very sure, but I'm just trying to rationalize. Maybe this is what they're thinking.
Yeah. And we were talking about this lane too. Like it could potentially be pretty hard for Fly, right? Like we talked about how strong Mars is in lane with the fact that that's slow with the spear. It's almost guaranteed, and even with Fly, like there's help there as well. Like this could be potentially really hard if played well enough by Old 11. I wonder if the Death Prophet, like, how many times is too many times to get caught out? Like, if Fly gets caught out once or twice, is that game detrimental?
Chalice is in trouble.
Oh boy. Yeah, Kaka getting the kill there, bottom onto Chalice. And that's that combination of having the Bash of the Deep as well as, that LSA early on. And Storm can't really tank through that.
Yeah, side lane Storm, you can't do much when the creep was like here. So it's too far. It was very hard for him to play the play. And they couldn't really pull because Kaka body dropped the cat, so it was pretty difficult. Like whenever the Storm makes a mistake in this lane, he can die. So, I mean, just best top lane. If I just pull the wave back towards the tower, because it's quite annoying for the DP to last it under the tower.
So what's normally the go-to here? Like when you drag a creep wave like this, what are you exactly looking for? I've seen sometimes that like 4 positions or the off lane will not only like get that first creep wave drag, but they'll wait and get the 2 creep waves to bring in between the tier 1 and the tier 2. What exactly is your objective in doing that?
I mean, one thing is like denying the creep wave, right? Because when you pull, you get to deny the 11, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the Crypt Storm hitting, and one more shot from Fly to get the kill. Fly putting the Shadow Poison out onto Ollie. Doesn't end up being enough. Misses the Shadow Poison there out onto the Oracle, and now he's just going to be dead for Fly to get a double kill. And then, the Ancient Apparition ends up dead bottom. Chalice might be dead here too. JT trying to man fight this. He's got one more shot until he's got the bash, but a second before the Slithering Crush gets up.
6 armor. I think any other hero would have died there.
Just surviving, and then Slithering Crush, the timing on it doesn't exactly line up because he gets the crush out, maybe lines up the stun with the bash and gets the kill.
Yeah, you were saying about the my take top lane.
Spear hitting on the Fly. Old 11 going in. Got the Fairy Fire, but with the Shadow Poison, Fly gets the kill there on to this Death Prophet. So a little bit of revenge for the side of LGD in this lane.
Like for me, the use is if you then you tend to want to pull they're just trying to simplify it. If you think your lane can't contest against the enemy lane, for example, say if you're underlord lane and you're against like a Monkey King or so you want to pull. And in this case, it's a Mars and Shell Demon. They're against double range Oracle and Death Prophet. If they don't screw up the lane equilibrium, it's gonna be hard for the Mars to stay in the lane because he's gonna take a lot of right-click damage from the two range heroes. So with that, it might pulling the wave, so you kind of disrupt the way that the lane is going to be played, and the Oracle is going to chase the Shadow Demon, so it puts the Mars in at least a more comfortable spot to farm in the lane. If that actually makes sense.
I think I'm comprehending it for the most part.
I'm trying to make it as simple as possible.
Spear comes in onto Fly. A lot of damage with the Shadow Poison stacking up, but I've got the Fortune's End, so purge that off.
As a lot of players ask this question, the thing that you asked me, when do you know you should? A lot of people have this question all the time, and I always explain. There's actually more to the explanation I said, but I just try to keep it simple. So it's like just a general rule of thumb. Whenever you're not very sure what to do, you think. And obviously, there's going to be different situations that there's still a reason why you want to pull it despite having a strong lane.
Is there more of a reason to wait and get that second creep wave to drag, or is it just being greedy, or it's still the same objective overall, right? When you wait and try to get 2 creep waves to come under the tower.
I mean, if you're a Bristol Bell or Accent, you can clear it. Yeah, sure, you can wait for it because it's more efficient that way. Mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane they go for Somnus. They've got the stun from Kaka with the Fortune's End that was lined up by Ali. They'll get the kill there with the help of the 2 supports, making the rotation over mid, something you talked about earlier on.
This is the first move you make in the game. Always, most of the time, it's catapult wave. The 2 supports will just combine, going to mid lane and get a kill. And in this case, it's even better because they have a DK, Now the DK is level 6 thanks to that kill. So he can actually pressure a tower with the catapult. It's going to take a lot of damage. The Radiant supports have to move mid right now.
So we'll see those rotations come out. They've got the cold feet coming through in the Kaka. Primal Spring hits onto the Lina, but behind him is the DK as well as the Oracle. Disruption coming through onto this DK. They'll try to turn this once again and put some damage out onto the Ancient Apparition. They need one more shot to get the kill, and they'll find it. X-Nova ends up falling. They look for FY as well as Somnus, as they still got 3 here ready to go, and FY hit with the Dragon Tail. So they'll line that up with the LSA. The Balance Strike comes through and disrupts a little bit of this fight, but still enough damage there for the side of IG to take out FY and get themselves a couple of kills.
Yeah, but at least they didn't let the tower take too much damage, because Dragon had a double damage there. The tower could have gone down. It was a necessary sacrifice for the Radiant.
And sometimes, a lot of people talk about the necessary feeding.
That tower is worth more than your support's life. I think if you lose the tower so early at 6 minutes, it's very bad for the team.
And that was something we talked about too. Like, reiterating on points that we've already made is like heroes that struggle to come back after a bad laning phase. We've talked about how important the laning is. Losing that tower would make it so hard for this Storm, it seems, or so hard for the Monkey King. Like, things could start to fall apart just by losing that tower.
He's supposed to dominate the lane, and if he loses the lane, then it sucks here.
Cold Feet and the Chilling Touch thrown at JT, but nothing really more onto the Slardar. Right now, things look okay for IG. They had that couple of kills over towards mid. They also got the kill into the Monkey King earlier. But now FY as well as Somnus, they've got the Arcane Rune. Really shouldn't set up in anything more than just the Power Rune in the favor of LGD in this mid lane.
Yeah, they're trying to make a big breakthrough in the bot lane. They brought the Death Prophet. She just popped level 6 not too long ago, and she's moving quickly to... She wants to use it as soon as possible. But nobody's taking the XP in the top lane, so they're kind of... This is a very heavy commitment for Naya here. They have to get the tower.
So they will pop the Exorcism. We'll go after the tier 1 tower. Got 4 heroes towards bottom, and they hit the Fortune's End. They won't land the LSA. FY coming over with X-Nova. They want to commit and just grab the tower, so they'll keep Fly nearby with the Exorcism rolling onto it, and Creeps pushing in as well. And they've got the tower, so is it still worth it, just the tower, or do they need something more? Do they need a +1 on this?
I mean, it's okay. I don't think they are super happy about it because they are playing only this area and this area. You know, they're taking, yeah, they're not really using the whole map.
Oh man, Arena coming through, and now the heal from the Exorcism ending. It's Fly surviving for now. They've got the Minus Armor out on the old 11 with Corrosive Haze coming through from the Sardar. The Shadow Poison is not really a deterrent at all from FY, so Kaka gets the kill on the old 11, and now LGD moving forward for a second, but really IG should be able to outlast anything that LGD is throwing at the moment over bottom.
Yeah, that was like just LGD not checking that the Exorcism is ending. Otherwise, the DP would have died there if they got a bit earlier. The heal actually just saved her life. Yeah, but like we were saying that they were just playing this area and this area. Generally, you see some teams whenever they make this kind of move, they will leave one of the support on the top at least to get XP. Because if you see the experience right now, they're not really doing that well for the Dire team because it's a very huge commitment to bring 4 heroes down that early to get at the tower. But they have a slight goal lead thanks to the tower. They are leading by 2 towers right now. The mid and the bottom tower have all gone down. But this is to be expected because of the heroes, you know, they have Dragon Knight and...
So how detrimental is that to LGD, because they've lost that mid tower, which is so much control gone on your side of the map, as well as the bottom tower. So it almost feels like the Radiant jungle is almost completely free for the Dire to come through, and that really closes up the map here for LGD quite a bit this early on.
Yeah, but they do have a lot of wave clear with their heroes. They can still push creep waves out quickly with the supports, especially the Shadow Demon. And on top of things, during the draft I mentioned that I feel like LGD has a better lineup in going head-to-head in teamfights later in the game. Even though they are slightly behind now, I still feel they have what it takes to, you know, win teamfights when the support have level 6. But X-Nova is level 5 right now, so he's not going to do much in this engage.
Yeah,
so she's probably going to die first.
On a creep. They've got the Elder Dragon form popped here by the DK. With the True Dance and the Primal Spring out, they're able to get themselves the MK away. Ooh.
Oh, 11. Someone TP'd. He was supposed to be fine. Someone TP'd the place he TP'd.
And so is that extra duration that ends up getting them screwed here, and they get the kill. Oh my.
That extra 1 second killed him.
Who was it who TP'd? It was, I believe, the Monkey King.
He TP'd to the top, back to the tier 1, the top tier 1 actually. So as a result, they're not going to be able to defend this tower anymore. So another tower for the Tide, another Dragon Farm pop. But like I said, this is still within the realms of reasonable because of the lineup of IG has. So Radiant is you kind of expect to lose some towers early on against the DPI and the Dragon Knight. But what they have is this Storm, which is going to be very hard for the enemy heroes to catch. So once he gets his items, he's going to be able to be more useful later. I think if you're Radiant, you're fine being behind with like 1 or 2 KO at this stage.
But is it a point where it feels like it ends up being like too much of a deficit? If it goes behind 3,000-4,000 net worth, is that too much? But they are about to line up a couple kills together. Ice Blast comes in. They look to kill off Kaka. They've got the Oracle TPing in, but it won't matter. They've got the kill on the Kaka. They got the kill on the Sardar, and things start to line up a little bit here for LGD to put a couple of kills together.
Yep, and they're TPing top to kill the DP because they know the DP. The DP is here alone. They saw TP spot bottom.
Yeah, they've got the spear.
He popped
Exorcism?
Really?
But Somnus and Chalice are here, so this Exorcism now it's going to be on cooldown, and it really, I mean, it doesn't do anything. That's a really poor feeling.
Maybe he thought that there was only 1 hero or 2. Oracle didn't. If Oracle had TP, I could still understand because Oracle didn't have TP, so that was a very weird play.
Yeah, Ali had just TP'd over bottom.
Yeah, but whatever happens. So right now, IG is gonna control the jungle on top, and bot lane is pushed out, so they are in a very good position here. And Ice Blast is available if they want to go for this kill. He has a hood though; he's pretty tanky.
Ball lightning coming in from Chalice. The Slithering Crush is there. The Ice Blast hits as the spear comes through from Old 11. The Wukong's command getting committed to this. They'll get the counter to JT, but the Laguna Blade takes out Chalice. So far it's a 1-for-1. They've got themselves the Arena of Blood down to help these heroes escape for PSG.LGD. But Kaka taking a lot of damage. Doesn't even want to commit onto this. They've got Ali to heal him back up, so he'll just leave. A 1-for-1 that maybe they would have hoped that Chalice gets out of, but I believe the Ball Lightning ends up a little bit short from the Slardar, and he ends up throwing a Slithering Crush that allows the Lina to TP in and burst him down with the Laguna Blade.
Alright, FY snipes the regen route. So overall, what was popped back there? The Mars ultimate and the Monkey King ulti, right? So they don't have their spells right now, so they have to be pushing out the lanes, waiting for your spells to come off cooldown. So you're gonna see all the LGD heroes pushing out these 3 lanes and avoiding confrontation if possible until they have their ultimates again. Oh, he's going Deso on the Monkey King next. That's interesting.
Dire are scanning.
And we've seen a lot of Monkey Kings that, you know, go into sometimes the Diffusal Blade even when they're in the safe lane, but it a little bit different here coming from the mid. Do you like this pickup of the Desolator, or would you rather see something else?
I'm trying to thinking why, because I feel like he's probably feeling that they don't have tower damage, right? If you look at that here.
Ice Blast coming in. They've got the Electric Vortex down, and now they'll follow this up. They'll try to get out of this one. The stun comes down to Chalice, but the Ball Lightning forward. Kaka and Firefly starting to make their way over. They've got the Silence as well as the Laguna Blade to trade Chalice out.
Run away.
And it's time to get out of here, or at least attempt to. JT looking for a target. They've got X-Nova getting the slow with the Chilling Touch shot coming through, as well as the Cold Feet proccing over on the Slardar, but it doesn't matter. Firefly's here with Ali. He's got some help.
That's okay for Radiant. They're still farming on the bottom side with the Monkey. I mean, I think that the Deso is probably because they don't have tower damage. Because they have a safe lane Storm, so they don't really... Storm can't really kill the buildings, he can kill Hero. So they need someone else to be able to kill the buildings. And we see the Mars Arena here.
And the Arena hits. They've got themselves the Spear. They'll get the kill on the Kaka. They look over at Ali for a moment to get a +1, but the disarm comes through.
That's a
and
really
not
good
really much more to
arena.
get.
He managed to block off the Oracle, so the Oracle couldn't come near to cast ulti.
Bottom,
And the bot lane, I mean, this is what Radiant... This is what the Radiant wants. They want to split them up and use the Storm and Monkey to get all these kind of pickoffs all over the map. It's excellent.
I will say, Firefly at least not using the Exorcism before his death right there. And they're continuing to fight. Spear comes through, as well as the Ice Blast. This could be a good one. Right on top of the DK, they've got the Electric Vortex. There's the False Promise to keep him alive for a little bit longer. JT now out of mana. Primal Spring comes out, as well as the Laguna Blade being thrown from Kaka on a Chalice again. It seems to be like the 3rd straight time they got the kill into the Storm Spirit with that Laguna help. And now Somnus is on the run. They land the LSA. They've got the Dragon Tail to follow it up. They'll get the kill into the Monkey King, and they've taken out 2 cores here on LGD.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually fight when they don't have Mars out here. They were kind of over their own head when they get a pick up there and they wanted to go for more. But it's actually really important in the fight with the Arena. Without the Arena, they are actually so much weaker. They don't have enough damage to kill heroes. And also the lockdown.
Seemed like a bit of an overextension
back to overcommitment. Yeah, back to pushing waves right now by LG. And waiting for the Storm. The Storm is gonna need a lot of time too. He's very, very far behind because of all those deaths right now. He needs like to complete the Bloodstone, and he's gonna need like for DKB. It's gonna take like 15 minutes of farming, 10-15 minutes.
And it was going so well. And then there was just a couple of fights consecutively where Kaka, with great positioning, throws the Laguna Blade and helps them to get that kill onto Chalice multiple times.
I mean, this is also back to what you mentioned earlier. When you change roles, maybe we discussed about this before the game. Like when you change roles, like safe lane to off lane, even though he was a safe lane player, but sometimes you do tend to make some kind of uncharacteristic mistakes because not 100% comfortable with the role. You make bad decisions because. So RG is gonna push the tier 2 at bot. They brought again once again the whole team down here, and LGD is once again the side that's trying to just split push and use the map. And they almost have Deso on the Monkey King, so they probably want to fight with that. It's rather interesting build, but I can see it working this game.
Has fallen.
And IG's gonna force the high ground here.
Do they pop Exorcism to try and force this, or do they just put a little bit of damage in?
I think they're thinking about it. The glaive is down now, he's gonna pop it. No? Oh, okay. They still want to... I guess they just wanted to force the Radiant to come back to the bottom area of the map, and then the Dire side can go back and claim this area.
Yeah, it ends up saving their tier 2.
Runes, yeah, and Bounty Runes are gonna spawn soon, so they wanna try to end out. This is an important time. And then because Radiant moved down to bottom, they probably cannot control the top outpost anymore. So, okay, Dire is going top, gonna claim the top outpost. So it'll be one apiece. Item timings, Storm is gonna... Storm is like kind of non-factor right now. But Kicking has Desol after the Bounty Runes. But I still think he needs to get BKB before he's really strong. He's quite weak without BKB.
Yeah, it feels like even with the blood is
Mars has whatever he...
He picks up Sanj will finish off the Heaven's Halberd. He had another Sanj queued up. I was wondering what the deal was with that, but now he actually switches into the pipe. So he thinks about the Heaven's Halberd for a second, then goes into the pipe. Would you rather him go for a Heaven's Halberd immediately, or do you like this call to go into the pipe?
I don't like the Halberd that much though. Like, who does he really want the Halberd? Just the starter or the teammate? Not very sure. I like the pipe because of the Lina, the DP, and all these 3 heroes, and the Oracle does a lot of magic damage. Don't think they can contest this Rosh though, it's way too fast.
Yeah, Exorcism gets committed. They have the Corrosive Haze out on it, so the minus armor will make it that much quicker. They'll try for it. Ball Lightning. Oof, now the Yules comes in from Kaka. He's been caught. LSA just missing. They get the Aegis into the hands of the DK. Now the Dragon Tail comes out onto this Mars. Somna's thinking about using that Wukong. They'll drop down the arena. They'll get the kill to FY. The Laguna Boy comes through. They get the kill to the Mars. Now onto the backlines. Chalice goes with the Electric Vortex hitting onto the Oracle, but it's not going to be enough. They've got the Silence out onto Somnus. They'll take out 3, and it's everything going the way of IG. Wait, potentially another
someone
one.
Killed the tree. Was it a Mars outing? I didn't see. The monkey was on the tree. I think it was the Mars outing.
It certainly might have.
He didn't do anything, and then he got stunned, and he just died. Sad.
Hopefully, I'll see it back on the replay to my left.
I mean, like I said, they still need time before they cannot really fight though. I feel like LGD thinks the way they're playing, right, it's like they are thinking they're strong enough to fight because they have this lineup that is really good in they have very strong team fight with the Monkey and the Master Killer. But I think that they are not calculating that the fact that because they don't have actually BKB on their cost, it's very difficult for them to stand and output. That's why they can't really kill heroes until they have BKB. It's gonna be a long time.
And it's gonna be even worse because of the fact that they forced that fight. You said they should just concede it and let that Aegis go into the hands of IG, but instead they choose the fight. They lose a couple of cores there, and they lose 4 heroes. They could have been.
This is the complex part of the game. Sorry, because they were doing. Remember the first 15 minutes they were like playing the map, trying to push out the waves. Then they came to a point when the Monkey King got the vessel. I think he felt like he's really so he's always telling his team. I'm not saying it's his fault, but it feels like he's the one that's strong, and he's telling his team that he wants to fight, because you have this item too. So you want to use your time. But because his other teammates are not that strong, so it actually doesn't really allow his whole team to take the fight.
Also, do you like the choice of this FY Shadow Demon build, Meteor Hammer into the Ags? You got the Disruption, they'll look for the Meteor Hammer, as well as the Primal Spring down, they'll go after the Oracle, but they've got the stun, it took out the tree! Again, he's been stunned up thanks to the fact that they take out the tree from under him, they get the kill on a Somnus, and now they're going to chase for FY. Got the Ice Blast coming through on the JT, but it won't get the kill. They'll take out FY, and it ends up being a second one there for him. Meanwhile, Fly gets the kill on Old 11. They'll look for another one here as JT moves forward to get the kill on X Nova. They'll finally trade the Slardar. but can they get anything more? Chalice now low on mana. Kaka lands the stun. Old 11 right behind him, who bought back to get to this point. God's Rebuke, and not enough damage to take out the Lina before the TP away.
Yeah, he missed the stun, and there was a buyback. I mean, yeah, I feel like apart from not having the BKBs, the mass item is also not the best. I think he needs to buy a blink actually. He actually needs the blink very, very badly. I mean, the hood I think is okay, but then the Sanjis I'm not very sure. And he needs to have the blink so that he can start the fights for his team. And for LGD, I think their timing is like way delayed right now because of all the shit fest that has happened for them. They lost 2 fights in a row. They lost Roshan. They lost Tower.
Yeah, it seems like every
nothing changes for the nothing changes for the monkey though. He still needs BKB and the Storm as well. They both need the BKB. I mean, IG is just waiting for basically they're waiting for their cooldowns and then they want to go. Are they waiting for any items? Let's see. Don't think they're waiting for any items.
They're building the Ags on DK and the Sardar, but they're building the Ags on the DK and the Sardar, but right now it just doesn't feel like it's a necessity where they have to wait and fall back and farm up those items. Like you said, just the cooldowns.
I think if they get those 2 items, they can end the game already.
Yeah.
They're that strong right now. The DK and so is what? Magic Resist? I mean, I can't remember what does he do. Magic Resist and what? Oh, free party.
JT searching for Old 11, who's in the trees. They will probably find him. Ollie and Old 11, well, they cross paths. They're trying to land that Fortune's End to get the route out onto the Mars, and now into the trees he goes. It's a maze to try and get through. They place down a ward to maybe get some vision of him. Blink forward from JT. I think spotted him for a second. Avoids the spear so he doesn't get caught to the tree. He's got the stun, and they'll get it on an Old 11. How can they get the kill? On him, taking a look over as they've got the Electric Vortex as well as the Ice Blast coming in. Somnus in trouble. The Balance Strike comes through. DK now gets the kill with the help of JT coming over bottom, landing the Slithering Crush. They'll take the DK. They look over at Chalice, who's now low on mana. JT just needs a bash, but they've got the Yules out from Fly, so that'll stop the TP. They've also got the Silence. They'll get the bash out finally, and they'll get the kill there out on to the Storm. At Fly nearby, into the trees he'll go. JT blinks out and tries to find him. Slither Crush off the mark, and he does get a chance to TP away.
Good juke. So overall, I think it could have been worse for the Radiant, but they end up with like what, a 3-4-2 trade. But I think Monkey King kind of feels really bad for dying because he really wants to get the BKB, but apart from and you don't really care if the Mars died there, it's like whatever, it's not really that important. I mean, I guess the Storm is also pretty important. But overall, I think they almost got a huge trade off out of that. So right now, back to farming their BKBs, as usual.
Ooh, Somnus. Okay, yeah, he's finishing off the BKB. He just needs the Mithril Hammer. I saw 2 Mithril Hammers, and then I saw that he was going for the Basher. I looked and glanced for a second. I'm like, is he really going off the BKB? But yeah, he's got the 2 Mithril Hammers there, so he's going to go into the BKB and then look to finish off an Abyssal Blade. But that is just such a long ways out, that Abyssal Blade. Even the BKB is some time away. Still needs 1,000 gold.
They do have some decent high ground defense with their heroes, so maybe it's still possible. There's still a chance here for them. But I mean, the Meteor Hammer is definitely rather strange for me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you know, I actually would have preferred if he gone for like saving items, you know, like a 4-star. Something that allows him to survive the team fights. He's like a sitting target right now if the Storm jumps on him. I mean, if he gets caught by the Storm.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just seems weird. Like usually on a Shadow Demon, you'll see like an Aether Lens come in or a 4-staff, Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, I mean,
utility.
The only possible reason you are gonna argue for this game is like because the Radiant heroes lack tower damage, so they need the hammer for tower damage. But otherwise, I actually don't even think that that's too big of a problem because the monkey went for that so he can kill buildings. I mean, it's just a rather strange item for this game. And right now for the Dire team, they are not really gonna have to wait for anything more because they have the DK eggs and Slada has eggs as well. So I mean, they're just pretty much going to look to get one lane of Rex with this kind of item timing. And the Radiant team has to try to cut the waves with either, I think the Storm has to, or the Monkey. They have to try and cut the waves. They cannot fight at all right now. I think even the Monkey against BKB doesn't really let them fight at this point. The Storm has to go and cut the wave.
We were talking about how Storm we wanted to see Chalice go for BKB. He's going into an Orchid instead.
I mean, he feels like they don't even have enough damage. That's like the problem because they lost. When you lose 2 fights in a row, then you have a lot of problems mounting on, like, stacking on each other. And right now, Shadow Demon gets healed, no safe items, so it means he's dead.
And the Eagles comes in, they've got the ball lightning looking onto the back lines to go for the Oracle. Ice Blast flies in, it's really not that strong. It does not feel that strong from X-Nova. They've got the kill there onto the Shadow Demon. He buys back immediately with the Exorcism roaring. They'll get themselves the kill onto the Tier 3 tower. Jeez, the damage just coming through onto the Ancient Apparition, but there's JT Win with the nice Slithering Crush. False Promise keeps alive the Death Prophet. They've also got the save. The BKB is going to be popped by Summoner, so look over at JT. They'll get the kill onto the Sardar, so they'll at least take out one. They'll follow it up with a kill out on a Fly. It's technically a high ground defense, but it did cost them a couple of buybacks. They're still looking for the DK. Into the river, the Balance Strike hits. Chalice moving forward. Ice Blast will follow it up. And it won't hit onto him, but it will come over him. And they'll get the kill there onto the DK, taking out all 3 cores on the side of IG.
Okay, I am wrong. The BKB on Monkey is still a game changer. Plus the buybacks. And now they're going to get Roche because of the Vessel. Oh, this is huge.
Is that still enough? Like, is the game? It certainly can't have fallen out of IG's hands completely, right?
Yeah, but yeah, because the Storm is a hero that has no good counters, from the Dire team. So even a mistake like this, costing like 2 buybacks, it still changes the game a lot. And now Storm has Aegis on top of things. I mean, this is actually very, very huge for LGD. The IG lineup has, they're more on like a timer. If the game drags on too much, they don't really want that to happen because they don't have good tools to deal with Storm. They're definitely still in the driving seat right now, but they have to be careful. I think if they make one more mistake, they could just lose the game.
Wow. So all of a sudden it hangs in the balance for them off a substantial hold over in the mid lane to keep IG at bay. They did end up losing the Tier 3 tower. They did cost them a couple of buybacks, but to get those 3 cores to walk into the Aegis and now have themselves a second life out of the Storm might be enough. Meanwhile, top Mars, Old 11, not taking Spear's missing, and now they've got the bash coming through to keep him right here for the rest of the team to come over and get the kill out onto the Mars.
But the DK has to pop his ultimate, so that's still okay for LGD, so they're gonna not be able to push anytime. What are they lacking? In 4-star, they kind of need 4-star to push people out the Monkey ulti. Lina's not buying 4-star. Oracle should. I think one of the supports should buy 4-star. I don't really even like it that much. No one's building it. It's very, very useful.
And instead he's going into the Blink Dagger on the Oracle. You've got Kaka now, who is finished off in Ags. He is more of kind of this extra core with the Shadow Blade and an Ags now.
Yeah, sure he can be the extra core, but I rather try to keep my actual core alive, I mean, I can understand somewhat that the Blink from the Oracle is so that he can stand like far, far away. Because the Storm is going to be eyeballing the Oracle, so the Oracle has to be hidden from a very, very safe distance. So that I can understand, but I still feel like not having the force stuff could lose them. I mean, we'll just have to see how the turns out. This is going to be an important fight. A 5-man spoke by LGD. Do they have a ward?
Let's see if they can bring it back. They've got the smoke broken. The BKB's going to be popping here by Somnus. They've got the silence out onto the Lina, and now Fortune's End comes through from the Oracle. The BKB was popped by Flyfly, now looking over at FY. The disruption keeps himself alive. The spear hits onto JT, locking him up for a moment. They get the courier of X-Nova. They get the kill onto FY. Now they look for more. Meanwhile, Backlines looking over at the Storm. Chalice with a TP as well as the ball lightning away. The false promise was used out on Akaka to keep him alive. Somnus with the balance strike hitting onto JT to stun him up and keep him at bay. Jumping from tree to tree, surviving for now, and it ends up being a 2-0 in favor of IG.
No buyback, so this could be Rex. Don't think they can do much about this without their support, so they're not gonna be able to cut the waves. The stop, okay, he needs to cut the wave right now.
So just get that cut. The arena comes down.
They can't save him. They just need to cut the creep waves, push mid and bottom out. They can't help him. They just need to push the creeps. Go push the creeps.
They cut the creeps out through mid. Chalice was able to cut them out with the with the ball lightning, and then meanwhile you've got Somnus pushing out. So, like you said, they need to cut the creeps, and they're doing a successful job at that, at least for now.
Fountains. Let's see. Should be to a P.
JT blinks, Slither and Crush. That hits onto the Storm. So also got the Corrosive Haze out on him. The Bash lands. Now the Dragon Tail. They'll take out the Aegis. Can they follow this up with the kill out onto the Storm? They're looking for the Fortune's End. They'll land it. They've got themselves the Slither and Crush as well as the damage to get the kill on the Chalice with no buyback. So they take out both lives, and that's a big problem.
The Silence actually killed the Storm from the Mindbreaker. It gave his teammates enough time to arrive and to get the kill. Yep, no BKB. Can't get out of that situation. And he has also no buy right. He has ultimate in 25 seconds. I think this should be Rax. No one can cut the waste right now. Monkey's at the top. He has no TP on Monkey, oh my god. I mean, this is Rex. Is it gonna be one lane or two?
Getting caught out.
There's no TP.
30 seconds without the TP. He's gonna have to tree dance his way all the way back to base, but that's... And now Exorcism getting committed after they take the mid set of Rax. And he's still not here. He's just not gonna be here. That's what LGD have to come to terms with. The Monkey King won't ever come back towards the base.
I mean, I guess to his defense, because Storm is dead anyway, they can't... It's either he's there to cut the base or he doesn't come around. There's no point of him coming back to base. That's probably what he felt. Otherwise, he would have leapt back to base a lot faster.
I think he and LGD figured out that they were going to lose 2 racks whether or not he's there.
Yeah, I guess so. He's still pretty strong, though. They're 20k go behind, but this Monkey is very, very strong. He has a lot of network, and he has Orb of Destruction. This is a very big item.
Radiant are scanning.
And okay, this is the Rune of Destiny right here. Can they pick a fight? It could be the Tide Turner.
We'll see if the double damage ends up being enough. Does it end up turning the tides, and can they push quickly enough to force a fight even? Because they got to get through this tier 2 tower. They probably don't want to show that Somnus has this DD, but it's taking a while to get through the tier 2 and even approach the high ground. So by the time they get to the fight,
saw it. They had a ward on the high ground before. I think they already know. That's why they're in base. I mean, they're just waiting the DD out, and they're just gonna try to. They still have a smoke. They have a smoke. Are they waiting for any items? Daedalus is not really that important. I mean, I guess they can wait for it. But the next important thing is just the rush. I don't think anything else matters anymore. You don't really want to push when it's so near to the next rush. You want to just wait for it, secure it. So it's going to be the dance around the rush and the vision around the rush. And pretty decent vision around the rush right now. Dire doesn't.
do you think it's still surprising that Chalice is just completely ignoring going into a BKB?
Yeah, it is. Because he's been dying because of not having a BKB. And he can't really rely on the Shadow Demon to keep him alive in the fights here. He's not an Oracle. So I think it's rather risky that he's playing the way. But I also can understand the fact that because they're so far behind, he needs to do something drastic to change the game. Maybe if the game is going normal, then I would say that yeah, it's really bad that he's not getting a BKB. But because the game is already so hard for them, and they don't really have enough damage, so I can sort of understand why he's trying to just forgo the BKB and go for as much disable and damage as possible.
Let's see if they can maybe turn this around. It'll come down to that Roche fight. They'll smoke up right now with old 11 going
Vortex
forward.
into the monkey stun, you know. Let's see if that's gonna happen. If he gets the X. Oh no, he's still a long way actually, so maybe not. But the vision is gonna be there for the Radiant, so let's see if they can use it to their advantage.
JT and this DK spotted. They've got the Ice Blast following
nice
through, and now they've got the arena
nice.
that hits onto both of them. So they get the kill there onto the DK. Now they look over JT. They'll get the kill to the Sardar. They don't have buyback on either of them. The Laguna Boy comes out of the challenge. They get the kill to the Storm Spirit. Now they look over at Kaka. They continue to chase, and well, they've got the disarm coming out from Ali that saves the life of this Lina. BKB was bought by Fly. Ball laning all the way in, looking for the Lina all the way in the back lines. False Promise saves him. Fortune Zen coming through, and this is a disruption to save Chalice, but he just bought back. So he's dead for 2 minutes without it, and now they look over at Fly to try to get the kill onto this Death Prophet, but with the Exorcism coming back, it heals him up. Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh no. Storm died back. There's a crit wave coming in soon. I don't think they can do much to push right now, because they don't really know that the Dire doesn't have buyback, so it could be too risky for them to push. Do they want to force it to try to see if the Dire has buyback? Meteor Hammer, but they have Griff. I think Dire is fine. They have Oracle ulti up, so the DP should play more aggressive.
Abyssal, Ice Blast, Laguna comes in from Kaka, doing a lot of damage here on Asamus, who pops the BKB and then immediately dies. They'll buy back on Ali to try and help keep this Fly Death Prophet alive. The false promise is there. Now they look over at old 11, they've got the damage, and they're starting to surround this Mars. Fly keeping his distance, making sure he doesn't get speared and stuck to his tree. But now they finally have the silence. They've got JT back. They'll get the kill there out onto the Mars. And pressure coming in from LGD that they pay dearly for.
That's a really good play by Owen. Linking behind and going for the Oracle when his team was going on the DP. But DP was way too tanky and Oracle bought back. So in the end, they couldn't really... Like I said, I felt it was very risky for them to pursue the tower. Because Storm was already dead. If Storm was alive, I think that play would have been possible. I mean, this is the thing, right? You buy back, but you try to go one step further to regain something, and it costs you up.
Ice Blast is just late there for LGD. Not that it would matter, they don't really have anybody to jump in there and steal this Aegis.
Who's getting that? About the axe. They had the axe. What was it?
Alright, seems like everybody's already got an axe. They've got the axe on Fly, on DK.
I mean, Sada has the axe, in backpack. So time for everyone has an axe. So you probably, I mean, Oracle axe is. I think it's pretty decent.
Might as well give it to him. Everybody else has one.
Yeah, he gave it to him. Nice.
When was the last time you saw a team with 5 heroes having axe that didn't include an alchemist?
Never, I think.
History made.
That's the only plausible scenario with the elk. Apart from having the elk, usually you never see 5 times. Is Aghanim actually that good right now? The OP item?
Oh, they find Somnus again. Laguna Blade shuts him down. And yeah, GG right out of that. Oh my. Wow, that's like the fourth time they found him on a tree. Just to get that extra stun.
That's like a tilted GG, you know? You don't even wait for the enemy to push the high ground to test if you have buyback. You just say GG right away. Usually, like, if someone dies like this, you try to, fake like he has buyback. You try to defend. But they already gave up, so it's like GG.
Wow, that is
that's not a very nice GG.
No, that was, we're not even going to attempt it at all. We don't need to. The game's over. It's fine. You got it. Go on to game 2. Man, IG played that really well, and that was all stemming from the early laning phase that went fantastic for them. LGD, Somnus really never got off the ground with this Monkey King. Like, yes, he's got the Abyssal, and he felt strong for like 1 or 2 fights, but overall even, it just felt really weak from him. But, I mean, Chalice is really the story of this, that Storm just never got anything going. Like, ever.
This game felt like the Monkey felt he was strong. He got his Dazzle and he wanted to fight, but his team, he didn't really get the memo that his team wasn't really doing so well, especially the Storm, and he was like trying to force too much fights. I think the first 15 minutes, like I said, during the game, they were doing what they were supposed to do: push out the creep waves, go for all these singular pickoffs, try to avoid all this head-on engage against the DP out and the Dragon Knight out. But then the Monkey King got this Dazzle, and then this Mars didn't get what he's supposed to get. I think he's supposed to buy Hood into Dagger. He needs to get the Blink so he can initiate. And then they actually needed the Storm. Maybe if the Storm had a better game, the Monkey King timing with the Dazzle would make sense, Say the Storm had one more item that he had his Bloodstone completed. Then everything would sink in together, The Dazzle plus the Bloodstone plus the Blink on the Mars. Then I can picture the Radiant team being able to fight at that stage of the game. But because their items were like half, they only had the Dazzle on Monkey, so they couldn't really fight. So, and the worst thing is, I think they felt like they could fight. They didn't really think they couldn't fight, so that made everything even worse.
Yeah, they like you said, they had the Desolator on Somnus, and they wanted to like make a move with it, and right when they tried to make a move, they ended up. I'm
not even going to talk about the Hammer, because I think the Hammer it was the least of their problems. He could have gotten a 4-star, whatever it is. They would still lose because of the lack of understanding of when they are actually really strong. It's actually quite complex in the game sometimes when you feel like you're strong, but because someone didn't get what he's supposed to buy in the game, and then the timing is actually all thrown off out the window, and you don't really get to realize it as soon as possible. As soon as someone bought the wrong item. It only happens after you lose a team fight, and then you start to think, why are we losing the team fight? And you click on your teammate. That's when you click on your teammate. All right, this guy doesn't have a blink. All right, this guy doesn't have Bloodstone. Okay.
Yeah, so it ends up with IG taking game 1 over LGD. We'll be back with game 2 in just a moment. Stay right there, as game 2 shouldn't be too far along. We've got ourselves 6 out of the 10 in the lobby, so we'll be back with that in just a moment. Stay right there.